Good afternoon, my Tabor City home here. We are sitting on December 29th today, and I kind of need your guys' help. And uh, what I decided to go to the YouTube world and ask about is something going on back here in my garden, and I don't really know what it is. I've looked on the internet trying to find the answer. Not really finding any great resources on the internet to explain it to me. So I figured, hey, you know what? These people out here in YouTube land are pretty savvy. Maybe somebody around there has an answer for me. So we were out here walking through the collards and the turnips. But the thing that I'm interested in is what is going on with this lettuce. And if you can see, these are Jersey early Wakefield, or cabbages, rather, not lettuce, excuse me, cabbages. These are Jersey early Wakefield cabbage, and they've got this this white spot on them. And if you can see, not all of them have it. There's some of them that don't have it, and then you'll come up on a cabbage that looks like that has it. Now, to be completely upfront with you, I did come through. I hadn't seen that until last week. And I came through last week and put some fertilizer on them. And I'm wondering if that is directly as a result of the fertilizer that I put on them. We got collards growing over here. Not really having any problems with the collards. Except for this one. Same thing. And this is the only collard plant that I've seen that happen on too. The leaves just got like this whitish kind of a thing going on with them. So, if any of you guys have ever experienced anything like that, I'd appreciate your advice. First of all, one of the questions I have, let me get this thing turned around so you're not staring in the sun. First of all, one of the questions I have is, does that pretty well mean that cabbage is no longer good? I mean, should I just pull it up out of the ground and count my losses on that one? Second of all, is it directly attributed to putting the fertilizer on there? The only fertilizer I had was some 10-10-10 that I had laying around, and I put the 10-10-10 on them, and that's what happened. I think that's what happened. I mean, I don't know that the fertilizer is actually the cause of it. And then, within a week or so, we've had some rain. We've had some really cold nights. And I came out here and I found these white spots all over. Don't really find any insects or anything like that on them, but the only other thing is I did have one fella, and these cabbage and these collards have been in this garden now for, I don't know, 5 weeks maybe, and I was kind of talking to a fella who's been around for a while, and I was telling him that there's I haven't really been impressed by any growing size of them, and he told me that the best fertilizer to use on cabbages and collards and things like that is what he phrased as tobacco fertilizer. I think he said it had a nitrogen of 32, if I remember that correctly. And his frame of mind behind that was that just like with tobacco, where you're trying to grow really large leaves, when you're trying to grow collards and cabbages, you're trying to grow a really big leaf. So, makes sense to me. But again, this is my first year ever having grown collards. So, we'll see how this all turns out. We've already eaten some, come out here and pull some of the individual leaves off the plants and eating them. I actually really kind of enjoy these with man, I can't even think of what you call those things now. Anyways, it's some sort of country ham that they have at the IGA. But this is what it is. I was wondering if anybody out here in YouTube land has got a good answer for what in the world would be causing all them white spots on the cabbages there. If you can drop me a message down below, give me some advice, I'd appreciate that. And the other question I have for everybody is, what kind of New Year's resolutions are you guys making? You know, I have a couple things that I absolutely want to get done. For me, you know, I have all this land back here with all these woods and all this stuff, and I want to get that cleared out. You know, every time I start to go to work on it, something jumps in front of it in line of needing to get done. And I'm just starting to get to the point where I feel like I need to make it a really big priority just to get that work done. The land that's back here getting cleared out, you know, is directly the reason why I bought a backhoe to begin with. And then once I get that land cleared, I have no reason to have a backhoe anymore. So, you know, I'll be getting rid of that. So there's a lot of things stacked up that, you know, need to get done. I think it needs to be a priority of my year to get that done. Not gonna lie to you, I mean, I could probably lose a couple pounds, to be honest with you. You know, I like to eat. I do like beer, so I could probably do something about that. But other than that, you know, I just want to get some of these projects done. That's kind of probably the biggest thing that bothers me, is that, and then probably the biggest thing I'm looking at now, other than clearing that land, is from my best guess, when the people who built this house built it, they came through and cleared out a bunch of pines, and you know, it looked pretty much what it looks like back there. So they cleared out a bunch of pines, they put down the foundation of the house, they built the house, but then they just brought in 18 inches of topsoil and backfilled everything. And what we're experiencing right now is places where those tree trunks were left in the dirt. Termites have come in, ate them all up. Now we're starting to have sinkholes, and we're having to go back and kind of fill those areas in. So the problem with that is, when you put the 18 inches of topsoil in and raise the level of the ground around the house, some of that topsoil starts spilling in under the house. And right now, if you crawl from the access on one end of our house to the other end of our house, you're actually crawling uphill. So in the end of our house, where it's by the driveway, there's about 6 to 8 inches of space under the house, and on the far end of the house, there's about 3 feet of space under the house. There's a lot of dirt in there that has to get shoveled out and brought out. Just jobs like that, getting ready for a new year. I kind of took a year, kind of took last year and worked on stuff around here as far as vehicles, and you know, rebuilt the transmission on the backhoe and did some things like that. But this coming year, I think we're going to have to focus a lot more on the house and trying to get stuff like that squared away. Yeah. But again, what do you guys got on your schedule for the new year? You know, if you have a big project that you want to knock out in the coming year, what is it? You know, I think everybody's kind of getting an idea of what they want and what they're going to have to tackle coming up in the next 12 months. You know, me, under the house, clear out land, get that backhoe, you know, sold, do those kind of things. That's kind of where I'm standing. And 12 months from now, we'll see if I lived up to that or not. So, anyways, my Tabor City home to you. Give me a comment down below. Let me know what you're gonna do for your year, and if you got any idea what's going on with them cabbage and collards, I'd love to know it. Appreciate it. My Tabor City home to you. God bless.